So you wanna go to war with me? You're talking like you think you're royalty. You think that I'm afraid, but I don't break. I heard you question my stability. You think I'll fall just like a guillotine, but I am here to stay. Won't look away. The storm is coming, so you better start running. No, you can't control, feel it in my bones. I'm coming for the, coming for the.
Howdy, howdy, guys. Happy Friday evening. How is everybody doing? Anya, Grandpa, Doc, Zeno, what's up, guys? If you are a member of the channel, also, the Discord voice is open. Y'all are welcome to come in there as well if you want to speak. Let me make sure that I have that sound turned on. Yes. So go to the top of the Discord, look for live stream voice. You'll see me in there and you can pop in there as well. Tonight's live stream, and maybe any live stream covering AMC going forward, because of the amount of nonsense and goofballs we've had to deal with this week, are going to be members only, so that we can focus the conversation on the people that actually want to learn about how to read financial statements and what is really going on with this company. And I don't have to get distracted dealing with all the nonsense. It's kind of a shitty week dealing with that stuff. And I come here to have fun and hang out with you guys, not be distracted with a bunch of trolls and people that have never opened a financial statement. So anyways, we're going to try something different tonight, and maybe for every live stream concerning AMC going forward. It's either that or just stopping covering AMC, but I'm not going to let these people run me off. So I will be here for the ones who are a member of the channel and that actually want to have productive conversations. Tonight, we're going to talk about an update on the AMC lawsuit and the settlement. I waited. I haven't posted much about it. A couple thoughts in the Discord. I waited to get some thoughts from the Chancery Daily. Remember when I said a couple weeks ago that I thought the settlement would be a sure thing? And then the next day, the Chancery Daily said, no, it's probably not going to be a sure thing. And then a day later, the judge said that. No. Well, now the whole tables have turned, guys. So we're going to talk about that in just a second when folks come on board. Tyler, how you doing? Yuka Frita, what's up? Tyler says, staying off of YouTube and Twitter really helped with my sanity. Yeah, I was fortunate, Tyler. Today, let's see, what did I do today? The bulk of the morning I spent getting that Lucid video out, working on one on Apple and Tesla and Rivian, but I'm not quite there on the Rivian. Someone asked me to do one on Neo, so we're going to do that also. I got my book in on the SIE exam. I'm going through that. This looks like pretty straightforward stuff. I should be able to go through this in a week and take the exam. It's not gonna do much for me. It's just to brush up on any areas that I might be weak on. And then this afternoon, I'll show you what I've been working on for you guys and for the live stream. Something going forward. I think I might have showed y'all a peek of this. You've seen the quick screen template. Let me put this up on the screen. You've seen this. This is our very easy, is it a good company or not? Red, yellow, green. It's not just Tony saying he likes a company or he doesn't like it. It's to give you a visual why. Why am I saying it? Why am I saying that? What are my thoughts? So, because people just, oh, he says he doesn't like any stock. Well, maybe you're picking maybe you're picking troubled stocks. There are certainly stocks that get green all the way. But if they are not green all the way, you can kind of see why. And if they're really, really red, like Mullen, then I'm really, really concerned about them. There's a lot of problems. But besides that, the next level of where I'm taking the channel is this other tool that I've been working on to help us when we're doing a live stream, when we look at a chart and we say, okay, we want to buy Costco. Is the current price of Costco a fair value? If we look at Costco right now, it is $491. And the recent high is 608. You can see my buy price down here in yellow. That's a long ways away, right? Well, how the hell did he come up with that? So I'm playing around with different discounted cash flows and other models to have an easy way to explain to you. That's the trouble, right? Discounted cash flows, depending on how you do it, is not always easy to explain. But I've been having to teach myself a bunch of stuff in Excel to create something like this. I mean, I know how to use the basics of Excel, but I wanted something on the live stream that we could use. You guys throw out a ticker, like you can see I have McDonald's up here. I created all of this, guys, but let's say you want to look at Costco. We just go into this blue box right here. I change the ticker and it pulls all the data. Pulls the current price, current dividend, earnings, EPS, 5-year growth, all the analyst experts here, analysts, estimates, how many analysts are covering it to make these estimates. We do some EPS growth calculations, current price, low price, high price, and then it gives us kind of what is a estimated value price for this stock. And so I don't know that this is the final version yet, but a lot of my free time I've been working on this, and most of what I've been having to learn is how to pull in all of this data so that I could make it very, very quick for you guys on the live streams. McDonald's, let's look at Floor and Decor. And there'll be iterations of this over the year, over the rest of this year. We'll make it better and better, but I'm not quite ready to launch it on a live stream yet, but I'm just kind of showing you what I'm working on. Let's see. Yuka, how you doing, buddy? Tyler says he's getting drunk just looking at my unfocused camera. What happened? I didn't even see my camera. Tony, once you pass the exam, can you post no. The only way you can post not financial advice is to get a Series 7 or a Series 66. And I looked into that. I looked into getting the Series 7 and Series 66. I've been looking into them for a long time, as long as I've had this channel, even before. But once you do that, you have to be sponsored by a FINRA regulated organization, like a broker. And pretty much from the people that I've talked to, once you do that, your boss, your employer, which I haven't had an employer for 15 years. I'm not really looking to be going to work for somebody, but they were telling me that if you are sponsored by someone to get your Series 7 or Series 66, that they will not let you say whatever you want on YouTube. And I don't want any chains. So the other thing I've been looking at doing is getting either a CFP or a CFA, Certified Financial Planner, Chartered Financial Analyst, which both are, they're not easy tests. Those are not easy. I think the CFA last year had a 38% pass rate, and it'll probably take me 4 to 6 months to do all the prep work. But that I don't have to go work for someone. And I called them this week. The biggest reason I haven't done it is those accreditations, or however you say it, require 2,000 to 4,000 work hours. And I always thought it was 4,000 work hours in the field, like working for an investment firm. And again, I don't want to do that. I don't mind studying and taking the test, but is there really a point in studying 6 months and taking a test if you can't even get certified because you didn't work somewhere for 2 years? So I called them this week after talking to some more people, and they basically in the conversation told me, and I'll keep on double and triple checking this, that my previous work experience would qualify. So I'm going with that now. I'm just going to do the SIE first because it's relatively easy, and to take this the CFA test is like $1,200 to take the test on top of the books and all the months of studying. So one step at a time. Let me get back to used to taking tests with this SIE. If I can get that done in a week, I think I can do the CFA in 4 to 6 months. And then still, will I be able to say I'm not financial advice? No, I will always have to say not financial advice. I will always have to say that because I have not had a chance to look over your financial portfolio or to gauge your risk tolerance. I'll always only be able to give you my opinion on a stock and its financials and tell you what I'm doing. But I can't give you any specific buy or sell advice on anything. All right. Grandpa Barney, Bravscan, what's up? Blazin, how you doing, buddy? All right, let's talk. So that's going to be my next 4 to 6 months. I'll still be doing live streams and videos. I think I need to, if I can study 1 or 2 hours a day, I should be able to knock this SIE out in a week and the CFA in 4 to 6 months. Let's talk about the lawsuit. And no, I'm not doing that, the CFA, because I plan to go work. I certainly don't want to be doing anybody's financial planning. I'm not going to have people over to an office or my house to sit down and go through their budget. I'm not interested in doing that. I like working by myself, taking care of myself, and sharing the time with you guys. Could I make a lot more money if I did that? Yeah, sure I could, but I already make enough money. I don't need to have the burden of having to meet with people every day and go through budgets. Just, I don't know right now that really interests me. It's much more fun just working when I want, come on camera when I want, hang out with you guys. All right, let's look at this letter from Bernstein, Litowitz, Berger, and Grossman, LLP, and then we'll talk about what the Chancery Daily said. I can't zoom this in. It says, Dear Vice Chancellor Zern, as the court is aware, the parties in the above referenced action, AMC versus yada, 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 have reached a proposed settlement subject to the court's approval. That is the same settlement, as far as I know, that they reached 2 weeks ago, or however long ago that was. And accordingly, the parties respectfully request a status conference with the court next week to discuss timing and notice for presentation of the proposed settlement. In light of the proposed settlement, the parties also respectfully request that the court adjourn the litigation deadlines in the stipulation and scheduling order, pending the court's full review of and decision whether to approve the proposed settlement. So clearly what they're saying is the judge, they're asking her to approve the settlement and cancel everything else that's on the schedule. Now, I know the obvious question you have, same one I had, how? How can they just resubmit this letter with the same damn settlement and ask her to approve it when she couldn't approve it 2 weeks ago? I got the answer. It's not my answer. It's from the Chancery Daily. So let's look and see what that says. And first, let's just read this little bit. This is very clear. And again, these are folks that go to the Delaware courts and know their, I would say it's pretty safe to say they haven't been wrong yet. This is very clear. She's saying settlement is announced. Settlement is announced. We won't be getting briefing on the preliminary injunction motions. That was going to happen in the next 7 to 10 days. The briefings from the defense and the plaintiff. And we won't be having a hearing on April 27th. I mean, that is very clear. Now you're asking, well, why? What? This seems pretty certain, right? Let's go over to Chance's Twitter. There was a few more comments earlier today. Chancellor Zern has addressed the letter to and from the plaintiff regarding the proposed settlement and adjournment of the preliminary injunction date. She says, yes, the preliminary injunction hearing is off. No more April 27th. But the status quo order is in place, and don't forget the intervener motion briefing. All right, so this one is different than the one I read earlier. Let's see what this is all about. A right to nudge the parties to address 2 pending motions. On March 1st, Frank Iacono filed a motion to intervene. On March 8th, plaintiffs filed an opposition to his motion. On March 15th, I denied his motion. Motion to intervene, as far as I understand it, is he wants to get in on the case too. Again, I'm not an attorney. That's just my understanding. So Mr. Iacono filed a motion to intervene, and the judge denied it. And then on April 13th, the court received a letter from Brian Tuttle concerning the same thing. He also sent in a motion to intervene, which I will do, she says. I think she approved his motion to intervene. Because the motion must be resolved before the 27th preliminary injunction, I will deem the motion unopposed unless opposition is filed on or before Monday, April 17th. The court will take motions under advisement without burdening the litigants with oral arguments. So this was the first thing that happened today. And then we got the other letter from the attorneys. This is another posting from Chancellor Zern. The deadlines in the March 2nd scheduling order, including the April 27th hearing, are adjourned. The deadlines in the court's April 13th letter regarding pending motions are not. For the avoidance of doubt, the status quo order remains in place. The status quo order meaning that AMC cannot today or Monday push through the reverse split and the conversion. So there's still some things pending, but the April 27th hearing is adjourned. It never really ends here, does it? Let's see what else we got here. No, it's just a summary. So basically, what she said is, she being Chance, or he, I'm pretty sure it's a she now based on what other folks said, is that the problem, why are the attorneys resubmitting this letter and asking for a settlement? There was a tweet here from Chance that said, the problem with the first time was they were trying to jump the timeline. They were trying to rush the judge to say drop the status quo right now, and that was improper process. And that now the way they resubmitted it with this new letter allows her to go through the normal process. So that is why they're saying, Chancery Daily, that the April 27th hearing got canceled and that this settlement is a done deal. I'm just passing on. This is not my opinion. I don't know if this is 100% correct, but I have not seen this person be incorrect yet. Somewhere in here there was... Someone asked about what's the timeline? What is the timeline on the settlement notice period? And Chancery said 70 to 90 days once it's properly on file. We'll know more next week if she holds a conference as requested. I don't know where that 70 to 90 days comes from. And I'm looking for the other interesting tweet that was posted. Okay, I think this is it. No, somewhere in here, you guys can go follow at Chancery_Daily and look for it yourself. There was somewhere in all of these threads about all the stuff that they're following. There was a tweet that said it had to do with last time they tried to jump the process and the judge didn't like that. So anyways, it looks like as of right now, subject to change, the April 27th hearing is off, and we, much like Adam Aaron told Massalorian and Mediocre Trader in Boston at the movie screening, he told them last weekend that there was going to be a settlement. I'm pretty sure these attorneys and executives already know what they're doing and what's going on. Just a matter of getting the paperwork in front of the court. Today we saw that. What do y'all think? Allegheny must have sent Zern a truckload of popcorn. What else is going on this week? Y'all feel free to ask questions. I know that on a lot of websites that you're looking at, a lot of brokers, that the market cap is not correct. I just want to recap because I had a couple people ask in the Discord and a lot in video and Twitter comments that some people are convinced that that's the real market cap. They're revealing their secrets. Let me just explain to you. This is why I'm glad that this is members only, because I don't got to deal with all the nonsense. There is only one way that market cap is calculated. It's how when companies do filings, I can tell you in 3 days from now, you're going to see the market cap change. Not the market cap. You're going to see the float change and the short interest change, not the market cap. But when companies do filings, certain filings have updated share counts in them. Share count being what the company is officially issued. And the most recent one we got from AMC that had a share count in it was on March 8th. It was, I think, 519 million AMC and like 927 million APE. That is the share count. That is the only source of share count for purposes of calculating market cap. And you multiply that times the price. Any other number that you see is incorrect. Now, does that mean that there's not synthetics? Don't twist what I'm saying, please. I'm telling you that for purposes of any data reporting site, there's only one way to report market cap. Get a count from the company from the last filing and multiply it by the price. So what do they have here on Webull? 516 million. I think it's 519 now, but I mean, and Webull still has the market cap at 2.64 billion. That is about correct. All these 7 and 8 and 4 billions, how, why, why is it so screwed up? I don't know, but we have been reading about, I'm sure you guys have too, some of you, because you've been asking me about them, these AI companies that have this technology that they call AI bots that they put into workflows of companies like data websites to eliminate repetitive human tasks. And so I'm just kind of like brainstorming ideas. How could these market caps be so screwed up so often? And when you have AMC and APE, maybe, just maybe, someone like Morningstar, which is the source of a lot of the data for these sites that are reporting market cap, maybe they have an AI bot that can't figure out the difference between APE and AMC and is just adding them together. Maybe it's on purpose. Maybe it's to screw with our psychology, right? There's all sorts of possible reasons, but one reason that it is not is because it's because they're telling you the real market cap. It is a mistake. I'm telling you it's a mistake because of the definition we just went through. AMC reports the numbers. The data providers are supposed to update it, and then the market cap is easily calculated. What else? What else has been going on? Oh, I made the mistake of watching a Lou video while I was eating my dinner tonight. I'm not trying to talk bad about Lou, but he said maybe all this ping-ponging, all this share price going down is because AMC bought NCMI, and they're using those shares to short AMC. Come on, guys. I know y'all know better than that, but I feel bad for the people that fall for that nonsense. You can't use shares of NCMI to short AMC. What happened today when we got the news about the court, I posted it, and the second I was posting it, the prices were already, the arbitrage play went back in. These high-speed trading firms immediately started selling off AMC and pushing up APE. And yes, I did go buy some more APE on Monday at $1.50. What did it end up today at? $1.66. I'm hoping that next week, if we get some clarity, that we could see APE run up to $2.50, $3. I don't know. And then just to top it off, because I was feeling a little spicy, I bought some more right before the market closed at $1.63 today. Anya said I was going to buy more APE, but I thought I had to wait. Yeah, I'm very hesitant. I get a lot of people asking me what if they think I should, if I think they should buy more APE. No, I can't tell you to do that. I can't, in good conscience, recommend that anybody do anything right now because of the uncertainty with the lawsuit and the whipsawing of the price. It's almost like flipping a coin. What's going to happen? I mean, for all I know, APE could go down on Monday if we find out that the judge ruled against AMC again. You know, APE's going to drop and AMC is going to go up. So please don't ask me for advice on what you should do. I'll tell you what I'm doing, and I will tell you that I am well aware of the risk, and I'm okay with that risk. But I know it could drop 10-15% in a day on me. So that's the risk we take. I'm hoping, I'm willing to stomach that risk because I'm hoping that if the settlement is approved, that the APE will go up 50, 60, 80, 100%. Juicy says, just ask him. Anya said, buying either one would only lower my average. Yeah, we had a long talk about that. Some of us in the Discord voice this morning, Anya, about the people that are stuck with $30 or $40 cost averages. It is, and it's we understand if people couldn't average down, but it's a shame if people haven't been able to take the opportunity to average down and maybe get some benefit with all of this whipsawing around right now. But ultimately, what happens after the reverse split and the conversion, even that, the reverse split, I'm not worried about. The conversion, I'm not worried about. But the, if you were able to add some AMC or APE, and then after with the settlement, any AMC you have, you would get those bonus shares, 1 for every 7.5. That would be a nice little adder. And then, I don't know whether it's going to go up or down. And that's why I have mostly been saying I'm doing nothing. Because if it goes down after a dilution announcement, I'm not worried about the reverse split. More the dilution announcement, when that comes, it could go down from that. And I want to have dry powder. That is when I'm saving my dry powder for. Assuming that I still think that movies are going to get to a recovery point in 2024, then, for me, the smart thing to do is if it goes down, wait, watch, see what happens, see where it bottoms out, and then snag some more. Anya says, that's why you're waiting. Yeah, I think that is the smart move. And I know there's a lot of people buying and selling and trying to time all this stuff, but, I'm not trying to be that smart. I'm looking for some opportunities to grab APE if they get really far apart on price. That's why I bought some this week. But mostly just doing nothing. Tyler, member for 17 months. Damn, son. He says, I don't have anything to say, but hello, Beef. Sergeant Beef. Where is Sergeant Beef? Dan, how you doing, buddy? Please don't talk about AI with Blazin around. Hey, Blazin, thank you for sending me all those great content ideas. He sent me a long list of a different, a bunch of different tickers to consider for video ideas over. He probably sent me a 6-month list of some good tickers. And for those of you who want to learn a little bit more about diversifying your portfolio. I'll talk more about stuff that I hold. And he had some great ones on his list too. Steven, what's up, buddy?
Hey, how are you doing? How's everybody doing?
Can y'all hear him okay? Let me check the desktop audio. Let me turn up the audio. All right, say something, Steven.
Hello, hello. How's everyone doing tonight?
All right, that's a little better. Doing much better. I'm loving this members only chat, Steven.
It's a different vibe, huh? Like we can actually get something done.
It's like our normal cool kids, hanging out in the Discord talking real shit.
Right. I think it's good both ways, Like I think this is good because it gives the members that exclusivity. And then I guess if you're in the mood for chaos, you can go the other way.
When we're doing lives during the week, if I make them open to the public, we're just not going to talk anything AMC related. It's just too much drama, too much superstition, too much refusal to understand the basics of the financials, and I just don't have the patience for it anymore. But I'm happy to talk with you guys about it. Live streams, if we do them during the day, there's going to be no AMC questions allowed. Or we'll switch to members only for a few minutes and take the questions.
Oh my God. That's funny. I switched my card a couple times, Tony. So your boy's coming back right now.
What do you mean you switch your card?
I had to switch my debit card a couple times because I had a couple fraud stuff. So,
oh no,
your boy's back. Members only, baby. Let's go.
Silver status in the house.
That's right.
Hey, so I didn't talk to y'all about Renfield. I went and saw that a couple days ago on Thursday. Anybody else seen it yet? I decided not to make a review of it because I didn't know if I could talk glowingly enough about it. The Nicolas Cage movie where he's Dracula. It was entertaining. It was extremely gory with CGI gore. I thought Nicolas Cage did a fantastic job. I wasn't as enamored with the female lead. What's her name? Awkwardfina, something like that. And the actor, I forget his name, that played Renfield. He was pretty good. The storyline was okay, but I would say it's not my favorite Nicolas Cage movie. I would rate it about a 6 out of a 10. Have you seen it yet, Steven?
No, I haven't, but I mean, it looks pretty good, like good enough to pass the time, I'd say, right?
Yes, good enough to pass the time. Grandpa says, I have been buying because I didn't have a choice. My average was through the roof and it made me nervous. Now you have an addiction. Well, at least you've had a chance to average down, Grandpa. Dan wants to know who got their AMC credit card yet.
I know Grandpa signed up for it.
I was going through the website a couple nights ago when we were talking about it after we got off the live stream, and I don't know if it was so busy or what, but like it kept on asking me to enter my phone number and an email, and then it would get hung up with this like spinning circle. I was like, well, I'll think about that another day. I don't got time to wait for this. Nicholas Polt, is that how you say it, Dan? I saw someone post on Twitter, Grandpa, that the interest rate on that card is 23%. Is that correct? I know, and I pray that most of you that are, if you decide to get it, and if it is that high, please, for the love of God, don't carry a balance on that damn card.
I know you get 5%, what's it called? Cash rewards back if you use it at AMC. So if anything, if you're going to support the company in that way, just use it at AMC and be responsible.
Yeah, tie it to your Stubs account so that the payments automatically go to it, and make sure you pay it off every month. I also I saw a tweet from Adam Aaron that said, did I read that right, Stephen? For anyone that has 100,000 shares of AMC or APE, they're gonna divvy up $500,000. Did you see that tweet?
What? No. Oh my goodness, I gotta see that. Adam Aaron?
Yeah, let me see if I can pull it up. Did anybody else see that, or am I smoking crack?
The last couple tweets I see is about his credit card.
Can you share some of that crack? What's up, Karen? Get your new AMC credit card, 5% in value back on AMC spending, 2% on dining, grocery, and gas, 1% on everything else. Maybe it was on an email, Stephen. Or maybe it was in the app. Can you check your app and see if it comes up? And for those of you who weren't around a couple days ago, there was also this tweet from Adam Aaron, just to clarify one last time, NCMI is the ticker. AMC did not buy those shares. They received as a distribution. This is an annual thing that happens. They've had a partnership as a founding member of NCMI since 2005, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't claim to be the biggest expert on NCMI. But that much was easy enough to track down, that we didn't buy them just by looking at the NCMI filing. Tyler says, I have enough credit cards. Yes, right. I have one, Tyler, and I would again urge all of you guys to, before you're spending money in the stock market, pay off your credit cards. Keep one with a minimum balance on it, just to help your credit score. And especially if you've got any credit cards with 18, 20% or higher, start paying those off. Typically, the recommendation is pick the one with the highest interest, pay minimum payments on the rest, put all your money, all your free money, to the one with the high interest rate and get it paid off. Then cut it up and call them and cancel it. And then start working on the next one till you're down to one. It is painful. I did that. I made that mistake of having too many credit cards in my 20s. It's a bad trap to get into. I used to think it was cool to see how much credit will these mofos give me, Stephen? But then inevitably things come up and you start spending on it, and it all of a sudden becomes an alligator. You don't want that alligator. Damn, Grandpa says cash advances are 29%. Holy fuck. The only time I'll occasionally I'll get one temporarily, Grandpa, like if there's some equipment I want to buy, like for example, Guitar Center, they have lighting and mics and stuff like that I use for here. they had a promotion for 12 months interest free. And if I can get an interest free deal instead of spending $1,000 cash, I'll go do that. But you gotta be disciplined to take whatever you buy and pay it off in a few months. Whatever works for your schedule. 2 months, 6 months, 12 months. Just pay it off before, so they'll add in all that interest at the end if you don't pay it off in time. Have I ever heard of flipping cards, Dan? I don't know. I've seen. You'd have to explain it to me. I've seen some games where people throw cards, but I don't onto the floor. But I don't remember if that's flipping cards. Grandpa says, I open new ones up to get the promo and store them. I'm assuming you mean like once you pay them off, you just put them in a drawer somewhere. But in some cases, Grandpa, having untapped credit, even if you have a zero balance, if you got 7 cards, that can actually lower your score a little bit. Now, if you got a perfect score and that's not something that you're worried about and it's not currently hurting you, then you can just disregard that. But I have read that before, that if you had 5 cards with a $3,000 limit on each one, even though they're all paid off, they could negatively impact your score because some lenders will look at that as untapped risk, if you know what I mean. Karen, how are you? She's got her mic off, I see.
I'm here. I'm doing well.
How's Davinda?
He's doing well. Had a window cleaning job. The window washer had a window job. Yeah, but he's getting his daughter, and so he's gonna have his daughter this weekend.
Very nice.
So I'm enjoying a libation, my Kraken diet.
I opened a second bang, but I really don't want to finish this because it's getting late in the evening here. So I'm going to probably put that aside and sip a little bit of the tequila. I think we can have a drink tonight without getting too rowdy. These damn goofballs driving me to drink. All right, questiones. Dan says, what you said about interest-free credit cards, use them for the promo, then switch to another promo card, transfer any balance. Oh, card flipping, credit card flipping. I was thinking playing cards. Dan. Yes, I'm familiar with what you're saying there. It's been a while. It's been a few decades since I had to become an expert on cleaning up your credit score. But if anybody is struggling with that and you want to see some tips on how to deal with that, please let me know, and I'm happy to do a refresher for you guys. Tyler says he has a $72,000 credit limit. Are you serious, Tyler, on one card, or are you joshing with us? Hey, Grandpa, did you ever figure out what the heck happened with that stock you were watching this morning, why it ran up so much? AMC closed today down 6% at 512. APE closed up almost 6%. This is that arbitrage action going on. This was not naked shorting or manipulation. It is just high-speed trading firms taking advantage of the arbitration, the arbitrage every time, just like we know happens when there's news on this lawsuit. Let's look at the one that Grandpa was looking at this morning. Someone asked me about Inovia. We talked about it a long time ago. I looked at them again today. This is not the one Grandpa was following, but this is a pharmaceutical company that's got some eye treatments, eye medicines. And they have had a run up from $1.50 to $4.70 based on pending FDA approvals. But it's a no revenue company, so I can't really make any assessment on it. Everything that you're watching right here, whatever happens with this company, the recent high was $7.50. Everything that happens with this, whether it goes to 7.5 or back down, is just news driven only. So if they in the future get FDA approval, absolutely this thing could shoot up. But I can't give you any guidance on what I think is going to happen because I don't have a timeline for FDA approval, and I don't know what the likelihood that they would get approved. If you're following that stock, you probably know more about it than me. But I generally don't gamble on pharma companies that don't have existing products. Petros Pharmaceuticals, though, that was the one Grandpa was watching this morning. Look at this. Last night when the market closed, 88 cents, and it ran up to 8.50 today on no news that we could find. I'm sure there must be something. No. The company did not appear to issue any press releases or securities filings. Who can explain that? But if some of y'all made money on that today, let us know. Beautiful run up. And then it came back down to about $4 after hours. Grandpa says he watches The Points Guy. I'm assuming that's a YouTuber that covers credit cards. Yeah, there are a couple good YouTubers. There was one that I was watching for a while, Grandpa, that he was specializing in racking up miles for airplane trips. And this dude was getting like first class on the most premium airlines. He basically had a damn cabin to himself in the first class. Not just a nice reclining chair. It's like a fucking living room. I was like, man, if I wasn't so against credit cards, that would be an interesting little journey to try and go on to see if you could just push all your spending. I don't even know if the airlines offer deals like that anymore. They're getting, times are getting so tough. But that would be, if you could push all your spending on the one card that was just maximized for airline points and then get a free trip somewhere, that would be nice. $2 million float and no halts. Yeah, we looked at that chart this morning. It looks to me, just at first glance, I didn't spend more than about a minute looking at it, Grandpa. It looks to me like there should have been some halts. I can't say for sure. But when we look at the 1 minute, there were a couple 1 minutes where it seems to have run up more than 10%. Unbelievable. And I missed that, Grandpa, because I was putting out a Lucid video that will probably get 800 views. What the heck am I doing with my life, Grandpa? Steven, you got any other movie news for us? Speaking of movies, Adam's been talking a lot, and we have been talking a lot about how good we think that this Q2 is going to be with the amount of awesome movies that we have coming up April, May, and June. And you've seen some tweets from Adam about record concessions. You might see some more. But again, when it comes to fundamentals and the financials, one quarter, it would be beautiful if we were somehow able to get over 2.7 billion on the domestic box office this quarter and turn a positive EPS for this quarter. That would be awesome. But based on the movies that are coming out in Q3 and Q4, we are predicting losses for AMC in the last 2 quarters of this year, which all goes back to why AMC wants to raise money. I was looking at the analyst predictions for AMC. They're not predicting a profitable quarter till 2026. 2026. Maybe I'm being overly optimistic saying 2024. I know the haters listening in, the guys that hate AMC, damn straight you're being optimistic. You're being way too optimistic. But I've run the numbers, and there is a chance we could be profitable in 2024 if Hollywood cooperates. And I'm sure that AMC is planning, for a worst case scenario. If things don't work out, they don't want to get run down to $150 million in cash. And that would be where we're headed if we have 3 money-losing quarters this year and we were mired in some lawsuit that where we couldn't raise cash. And that, when we get below 150 million, maybe we wouldn't even have to get that far. But for sure, if we got to that point, the lenders would foreclose on the company, just like they did on Bed Bath & Beyond. And then we all lose. And whether you like what the company's doing with dilution or not, they're trying to avoid that scenario. And there's a lot of people that are happy. You'd be happy if the company went bankrupt. You wouldn't care. But I'd prefer not to pick the option that ensures that my investment goes to zero. I'd rather take a chance and let them improve the company. So that's where I'm coming from. That's all. Blazin says 2027. Holy shit. Let me pull up my handy dandy little spreadsheet, Blazin, and we can look at the where is that screen? This one. We can, now that we got this thing almost working, I can plug AMC in here. It's not going to populate because AMC's losing money. But we will be able to see the analyst estimates over here. Right here, I got 7 analysts predicting negative 40 cents for the year, 7 predicting negative 30 cents for 2024, negative 21 cents for 2025, and finally a profit in 2026. I know there's going to be people watching, either watching right now or on replay, that say, "Oh, well, Tony, of course you can't believe those analysts. They're trying to play with your psyche." But I've run the numbers enough to know that at least for 2023, it's not likely we're going to make a profitable quarter. We got a shot on Q2. But if you're AMC and you're thinking, if your accountants and finance guys are in line with these analysts, you're thinking we need to get some fucking cash in the bank. We got a plan for this shit. I don't think Adam Aaron is that bearish. I've heard him say that he thinks we got a shot for 2024 also. Birdman, what's up, buddy? Tyler says, I don't understand why Hollywood doesn't help AMC. Yeah, I don't know. Why aren't they more vocal about it is a good question. There's a couple of them that are vocal. Tom Cruise. What's his name? The Avatar dude. James Cameron. Adam says he's been in LA meeting with movie executives to get them on the ball. And then we have Amazon and Apple both saying that they're going to pony up $1 billion to make movies for theatrical release. So I think the message is starting to get out there. I think there's a reason to be a little more bullish going into 2024 than people have felt over the past couple of years. The naysayers. Tyler says, can you imagine the effect on AMC shares if we had all them stars talking about it a lot? Yes, I can. And I wish they would, Tyler. What else? Oh, there was one other phrase that I keep hearing out there in the ether. Maybe I shouldn't talk about that tonight. Yeah, we'll just let it go. We don't need to keep validating the goofy talk by talking about it. Tyler says, talk about whatever you want. What else we got? Let's look at some other stocks here. Did you guys see was the screen up when I put up the analyst? You guys didn't even see that, did you? Right here for AMC on this box on the middle on the right is the analyst estimates for earnings per share. 2026, 2 cents. I think we can do better than that. Tyler says you talk brilliantly when you have shots. Yeah, but Tyler, I hurt too many people's feelings, Tyler. And I don't come on here at night to hurt people's feelings. I come on here to have a good time. It's just they want to bring their nonsense on my channel, and I feel like I at least deserve them the courtesy of response, and it all goes downhill from there because they don't want to have a conversation. They just want me to believe their theories, things they can't prove with anything. And that's not what this channel's about. So I don't know why they keep trying to come on here and convince me of anything. All right, let's talk about BBBY for a second. Because I have been following that one. I don't know. I'm not following it because I'm bullish on it. Just following it because I can't believe the absolute decimation that is going on in this stock. I have a price target now of 15 cents for Bed Bath & Beyond. They keep dropping it 7% a day. Every damn day, 7%. 7%.
I'm back, Tony.
Huh?
I'm back.
Welcome back. You been watching Bed Bath & Beyond?
Bloodbath and Beyond?
Yeah. It's doing a reverse squeeze, Steven.
Yeah, it's honestly hard to watch. If any of you guys are in it, I feel bad. You know, this thing did a complete turnaround.
I do feel bad for anyone that bought in, but we've put out plenty of warnings about what was coming, and I know some people listened, But there are still people live streaming 3 or 4 hours a day talking about they're still buying. Like, they think it's a fantastic company. It might be. We like shopping there. They think it's a fantastic brand name. It might be. It's well known. But you can't ignore the filings and the fact that they're 1 foot in the grave of bankruptcy. And these guys keep on coming up with their theories that Ryan Cohen wants to buy it and blah, blah, blah. Maybe he will, but they're just getting obliterated in the meantime. It is sad to watch. BBIG was up a little bit today, up 0.5%. Hycroft Mining has, I don't know if you guys have looked at gold prices. I was just looking at them, and if not HYMC, if you have been following my coverage on Hycroft, just a reminder that gold related stocks will go up with precious metals, gold and silver. And if you look at like a 1 to 3 month chart for gold, look at that. 1900 all the way up to damn near 2100 in the last 30 days. So if Mudrick stops selling, which it seems like they have, and gold prices are going up, you get that knock-on effect that you don't have the negativity of Mudrick pushing the price down, and you get the benefit of gold pushing the price up. So we are seeing a little bit of bullishness in Hycroft. That doesn't change my belief about anything on Hycroft. But I'm in at 50 cents. I can't remember if I bought any. I don't think I bought any below that. My next price target where I was going to add some for a trade in, trade out on news was 25 cents. But if it were to run, for example, on any news pop, I'll come on real quickly and tell you if I think it is hold news or trade news. If it's just like we found some more silver in a core sample and you see it run up to $1, I will be most likely selling on that and then wait for it to come back down. Really depends on what the news is, and if it's extremely long term this is bullish, then of course I would hold it. If it's a FOMO news run up, then I'd sell and wait for it to come back down, like I've done so many times on Hycroft. And then the other one, Mullen, 10 cents, just languishing right there. We're waiting on reverse split news on Mullen. I think there were some new filings on Mullen I need to look at. And what else? Oh, the BBIG folks were not very happy with me that I put out a video because I forget who asked, maybe Arthur Martin. Someone asked me in the comments to give my thoughts on BBIG. Other than that, you guys know I've avoided talking about it for 2 years. I don't really want to be talking about penny stocks. But someone asked, someone who I care about. So I reviewed all the filings, put my DD out there. And, they got that vote coming up with a lot of dilution on it and a reverse split. And I think that they need to do it. The company's recommending that shareholders vote for all of them. And someone went in my comments and said they don't need to do a reverse split. And I'm like, look at the price, my friend. It's 26 cents. The company's telling you they need to do the reverse split. And they have a delisting notice for being under $1. So I don't know what the theory is for they don't need to do a reverse split. He didn't expand on it. Of course, nobody ever expands on their hate comments. They don't need to do a reverse split. What? Okay. That's cool if that's your opinion. I'm happy to entertain your opinion, but you got to explain why. Why do you think that? Because I gave you all the DD why they need to do it. I talked about all of it. You just come in and say, well, they don't need to do that. This is the kind of, how do I interact with people like that? I don't know what to do. Like when I provide you company communications delisting notices, company recommendations to reverse split so they don't get delisted. And then people just come and pop off with no backup for their comments. It's troubling to me. And then, of course, today I covered Lucid for the first time ever. And I thought for sure saying I had a $5 price target was going to piss a lot of people off. And so far it hasn't. I mean, it's been fairly well taken. But, you know, a couple people came in and said, $5? You are way too optimistic on your stock coverage. I was like, wow, that's actually nice to hear. Someone said I'm too optimistic. Usually everyone says I'm pessimistic on everything. It's only because they're asking me about no revenue stocks that I sound pessimistic. I'm just more realistic. Not that I'm negative on everything, but if all we're talking about is companies that have negative revenue, it's hard to give you a positive story. The only story in all those cases is be damn cautious and wait for a good entry and hope for good news if you got an entry already. I found that amusing. People calling me up. You're too optimistic, Denaro. When I said $5 on Lucid, what I meant was if it hits $5, if it hits below $6, I will go in at that time and look and see what is the latest filing since then. If it happens in a week or if it happens in 6 months, I'll go in and take another look at it. That doesn't mean I'm automatically buying at $5. Obviously, if their quarters are getting worse or their product deliveries are getting worse, then I might reconsider them and set a new lower price target. If their product deliveries are improving and they're cutting costs and doing the right things, but the price is just getting whittled down, well, then maybe I would buy it. It's just a price target. It's not I'm buying right here. You know what I'm saying? So I set my alerts in that range. And when I get the ding, whatever day that is, if it takes a year, when it gets there, then I will go take a look. I need to do a video on Neo. I need to do a video on Rivian. And I really want to do one on Hyliion, the trucking company, just right up the road from me. And those SOBs still have not answered my email. It's been about 3 damn weeks. Maybe I should just go do a drop-in on them. Put my cowboy hat and my boots on and say, hey there, partners. This is 10 Grit Denaro in the house. I want to do a video on you motherfuckers. What do you say? Blazin says, when are you going to do the new phone line? I thought about doing it tonight, Blazin, but I think we'll do it one day next week when we do a open to the public live stream.
You told everyone?
No, I have not told everyone. I don't know why Blazin's spilling the beans.
Blazin. It's not Blazin, it's Chat GPT listening to you.
Yeah, we got some new cool stuff coming up between the secret project I have going on and the new tools that I'm developing for the live streams to help expedite and explain to you guys my thoughts when you ask me about stocks and take away this perception that I'm negative on everything because you can't see inside my brain. It's going to be right there on the screen and we can work it out in either 10 seconds or 60 seconds, depending on which tool that we're using. I'm always looking for tools to help people understand how I view things without thinking that I'm being negative on their favorite play. There's always reasons why I say what I do that come from the way that Wall Street looks at stocks, the fundamentals. And if you're wondering why your stock keeps going down, maybe, maybe having a picture will help you understand. It's usually not manipulation. It's they feel quite comfortable pushing it down because it's overvalued, or usually it's overvalued due to the risk or the valuation, or most times overvalued because it has no value. It's just no earnings like Mullen, or negative earnings like no earnings like GTII, no revenue. I would like us all to get better about picking stocks that have profits, that have earnings, that have dividends. Not this, but this. So I will be spending more time showing you guys more of these. And then we'll use a tool like this to figure out what is the price that, we might, even if Costco's green right now, it's still overpriced in my book. I mean, this tool is not 100% refined, so don't take $334 at the bottom as the absolute gospel. And all of these tools and calculations are obviously subject to certain assumptions. But I'm hoping that by me showing you stuff like this, not you that are members of the channel, you already know how I think, but the people that just think I'm negative about everything, I'll try and give you a visualization of it so that you know what risks I'm weighing when I tell you you can wait, you can be patient, it's going to go down, and why we're usually right on that. What do you think, Stephen? Are you excited about these new tools?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I throw you tickers all the time. McDonald's was the one we talked about. I think that one's a great one to hold forever. There's a few stocks that I like forever. Lauren Decor, you mentioned that one too.
Yeah, there's quite a few that we banter around about, but a lot of them are above our buy-in targets right now.
I like forever stocks because you don't have to actively look at it,
Right.
It's just, yeah.
Where's my dog at? Tebow, get over here. Sounds like he's getting into the rabbit food. Tebow, come here. Tebow. I could hear someone rattling around a bowl. I already fed him, but I wouldn't put it past him to be eating the rabbit food now. Now he won't come over here because he's afraid he's going to get in trouble. Hey, David, thank you for supporting the channel, coming in here to chat with us.
Tony, I got a question for you.
What you got?
Which movie is going to be the highest grossing movie of the year?
Oh, boy.
Your prediction.
Avatar. Can I say that?
No, Avatar counts for 2022.
But it went into 2023, didn't it?
Yeah. But Mario's going to beat Avatar.
You think?
Yeah.
What's your prediction now? Share it with the folks. Your prediction on Mario.
Oh, I got tons of DB on Mario. If you want me to drop that.
Yeah, tell us.
Well, let's put it into perspective. So Sonic the Hedgehog 2, you guys remember that? That was number 2 on the top video game movie U.S. opening weekend sales at $72 million. Mario blew that completely away with $146 million. So it pretty much doubled Sonic the Hedgehog 2.
Holy shit, we're at 500 million on Super Mario.
This movie is blowing it away. Let me put it in perspective. So let's talk about why this was good, right? Like, how did this happen? One, it was faithful to the source material, and they had the game architect involved in the development of the movie. And then two, the marketing was insane for Mario. So most of you guys don't know this, but McDonald's actually had a commercial that they advertised their burgers and stuff, but it was a Mario commercial, and it was playing worldwide. And in 7-Elevens, there was Mario all over the world. And this movie's already got 500 million global, and it hasn't even released in Korea, the Middle East, or Japan.
Oh my gosh.
The
What's the
only
Japan
thing,
drop date?
April 28th, the day that Adam will be in Vegas.
I'm looking at it here compared to Top Gun Maverick. It's been tracking above, but it's just starting to cross right now, if you guys can see that.
And it set the record for the biggest IMAX opening of all time. I'll be honest, I'm blown away. I thought this was going to be a $500 million film, and it's tracking 1.2 billion by the time it's all said and done. The only thing that it's behind currently is Minions: Rise of Gru, but it's likely to surpass that. It's projected to even make 86 million in its second weekend, which is pretty high. And I'm looking, Tony, at 600 million domestically by the end.
I hope you're right, my friend. 10 days in, and we're already at $500 million. That is crazy.
If you want to talk about all-time records, it's second best start ever behind Incredibles 2, and it passed Finding Dory, and it passed Frozen 2. So it's on a tear. But there's a lot. I mean, I don't know if you've looked at the entire box office, Tony. I mean, you got the next big ones. You got Evil Dead, you got Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, Fast 10, Little Mermaid. Fingers crossed, guys, for Little Mermaid. I know we don't have a lot of faith in Disney, but if they can pull this together, Little Mermaid's another billion-dollar film. And you're running that right into Spider-Man and Transformers. So there's just a lot to look forward to in the next 2 months.
It's saying the most anticipated movie is also Guy Ritchie's The Covenant. Are you familiar with that one?
Yep, that's the end of this month, 21st.
Love Again. I don't know what that one's about. Oh, The Machine. I just saw a preview for that one. That one looked pretty good. Who stars in this? Doesn't say. And there was another preview that I saw for the first time. Oh, cast and crew. There was another preview I saw for the first time when I was watching Renfield. I don't remember the name of it, but it's kind of like, I don't know, maybe like Bridesmaids. It's going to be a chick flick, but all the cast is Asian.
Oh wow!
And
nice.
It's two girls that grow up together as kids, and then it transitions to when they're adults, and they decide to go to China to find one of the two, their birth mom, and they take their gang along with them, their other girlfriends, and then it just becomes a total hijinks. Nothing goes as planned in the preview. Like they're riding in a train and there's some random white girl in the train with them, and I guess the Japanese authorities are coming to check tickets and stuff, and the white girl drops a suitcase full of drugs on the floor. And they're like, you can't have drugs in Japan or Korea, wherever they were. And so they all start trying to like eat it, stuff it up their ass, just silly stuff. It looked pretty funny. And, I think a good chick flick for the ladies to get them back out at the movies would be good too.
Yeah, they're remaking Legally Blonde and a few other comedies from the 2000s. And because, I don't know if you know this, but Amazon acquired MGM. They acquired all their properties. And as you know, Amazon dedicated $1 billion to theatrical exclusivity. So they're looking at taking all those IPs and doing the model that you saw with Air. And the next two films that are going to be coming out in that model, like I was telling you, Tony, they first go to theaters and then streaming, is Killers of the Flower Moon with Leonardo DiCaprio and Martin Scorsese, which is highly anticipated. And then you have Ridley Scott's Napoleon with Joaquin Phoenix. So there's two right there that Amazon and Apple are going to help us with. Apple is on Napoleon.
Oh yeah, I remember this trailer now for The Machine. It's like this guy and his dad, and I guess maybe at some point he used to be a double agent in Russia, and then he ended up over in the United States. This guy and his dad, I don't know which one of them was the double agent, but the Russians came back looking for him, and they said, "You're coming back to Russia with us." And he's all out of shape and doesn't remember how to fight or anything. But he ends up by accident remembering all of his skills. So yeah, it was kind of a comedy.
Nice. We got that movie Strays that's coming out with the dogs. I think Seth Rogen's behind it. That's the big comedy of the summer.
I saw it for the first time, the trailer for that one. I have reservations about it, Stephen.
Yeah, I hope it does well.
Here's my reservations. It's what could ostensibly be a kids movie because it has these funny pets, cartoon animated pets, but they're all foul-mouthed, right? Lots of bad language. So automatically you can't take your kids to it, but will enough adults go see it because it's a cartoon or an animated film?
Is it rated R, do you know?
Let's see.
Rated R films tend to be harder to, get some real revenue in there.
It's got a good cast with who did you say?
I think Seth Rogen's behind it, but I'm not sure.
Seth Rogen and Jamie Foxx are both in it. Rated.
Yeah, it looks like it is.
Yeah, R.
Yeah, so I wouldn't consider that a big one.
I'll probably go see it, but I mean, it just look at the pictures. It looks like a damn kids movie.
I got some stunning statistics I want to tell everybody, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
These are recent box office statistics that just came out. So the domestic box office in 2023. So we're just talking about January till now, from January to March, took in 1.8 billion during the first 3 months, lagging only 25% behind 2019 levels. And that's a tall order, guys. 2019 is the second highest box office of all time. So we're only 25% behind that. That's incredible. If you look at the wide releases, we opened 18, which is also a 25% drop from the 24 released during the same period in 2019. So we're really not that far away from the pre-pandemic level. To compare that to last year in 2022, we ended up 34% behind 2019's pace. And as you guys know, Hollywood's back on schedule. So that's an incredible improvement, Tony. That's almost 10%.
Tell me the beginning of that again. Was that a projected Q2 that you're estimating? Because I've got it here. Box Office Mojo.
Q1 of this year took in 1.8 billion.
Yes.
That's lagging only 25% behind the Q1 2019 levels.
Yep.
That's an incredible statistic that we're closing in that fast. We all knew the box office was going to respond, but it's responding at a rate faster than anticipated. In comparison to 22, we were 34% behind versus 25. So we're 10% faster at least. In Q1, which is typically a quarter where movies tend to
We're
tend to not be.
15 days into a 90-day period, and we're already 1/3 of the way to Q1's cumulative gross for domestic. That's huge.
It literally can't be denied. I mean, ever since Spider-Man No Way Home came out in 2021, I believe that to be the return of the box office. That's when it started to turn.
Blazon's talking about Strays. He says it reminds him of Sausage Party. Yeah, there was another raunchy. Was that the one where they were partying in the refrigerator? Blazon? I think, guys, I think this was the only movie in my life that I walked out on.
Yeah, I heard that was bad.
It takes a lot for me to get up and leave a movie. I don't think I made it through that one.
Dan Spencer says there's going to be films that'll come out and do better. That's 100% true. Most of these films are their projections are under projected, but you tend to have about 5 movies that come out that are overperformers, and those really help us, you know. So I'm expecting that.
Let's see what we have for upcoming releases. What is Lord of the Rings Return of the King? Is that just a replay? That's a replay of, yeah, 20th anniversary. Okay.
Beau is Afraid is the next one that you got to go see, Tony.
Joaquin Phoenix. Yeah, I like him. I don't know anything about that movie. Comedy, drama, horror. Oh, man. Oh, Steven, there was another new horror movie that I saw a preview for on Thursday that literally gave me some like chills and jumps. It was a Stephen King.
Oh, Boogeyman.
Movie. Huh? Boogeyman. Yeah. I'm pretty jaded when it comes to horror movies, and just watching the preview of that one got me a little bit, you know, I don't want to say scared, but
Boogeyman's June 2nd. Yeah, that's coming out soon.
I hope that one is as good in real life as it is on the trailer that they showed. There's another Dracula movie coming out later this year too.
The one that people aren't talking about, Tony, when it comes to like overperformers, is Oppenheimer, Christopher Nolan's new film. That's about the atomic bomb.
That sounds interesting.
That's gonna be dropped. I think that's a Q3 film, and Barbie is gonna be a live action. Most likely will overperform, and then you have Mission Impossible also in Q3.
Evil Dead Rise is high on my list. The Covenant is high on my list. I guess I'll add Beau is Afraid on there. I need to go look at some trailers of that one. Sisu, really looking forward to that one. That's like right up my alley of action war movies.
Yep, that's a good one.
Big George Foreman, that one looks pretty good. I don't know if you've seen the previews for that.
I have to see that one with Adam.
Oh, is that the one you're seeing with Adam? Okay.
Yep.
Now we're into May. Guardians of the Galaxy. Yes, of course. I don't know about One Ranger. I don't know if I've seen a preview for that. It's got John Malkovich in it.
They're talking about 150 million domestic debut for Guardians.
I bet it'll do better than that.
Yeah, I hope so. That's what they're saying. The big one in June, I think that's going to pull in a lot of people, is The Flash, because Michael Keaton's coming back as Batman for that movie.
The Boogeyman, June 2nd. Spider-Man, June 2nd. Also, Raiders of the Lost Ark, June 4th. Holy shit. Transformers:
Yeah.
Rise of the Beasts. I'm not the biggest Transformers fan since my kids are grown,
Moneymaker.
but I'll go watch it. We got Strays. I don't know what 97 minutes is. What else? The Flash. That one
Yep,
should
that's
do
the
good.
big one.
The Blackening looks pretty funny. I saw a preview for that. It's a comedy horror featuring an all black cast. Yeah. And then Indiana Jones.
That's a big one. So fingers crossed, guys, because we depend on these movies. We hope to God Disney actually pulls it together. Maybe they learned from their mistakes with Lightyear, and they put it together with Indiana Jones, Mermaid, and Elemental. That's the other one you missed. Because those are 3 big Disney movies coming out at that time.
I need to get my Indiana Jones fedora before June 30th, I guess. July 21st for Oppenheimer.
Oh, there is something I gotta tell you. So totally rumored, but I don't know if you guys know, but HBO Max is they own the rights to Harry Potter, and they're re-releasing the whole entire series. They're gonna do like a whole season per book on Harry Potter, and the HBO CEO has been talking extremely highly about movie theaters. So there's rumors, speculation that they're going to start putting the finales of those seasons into theaters as for special events because of how many people are going to be driven to the Harry Potter series.
That would be cool.
That's what we need, Tony. We need families. We need families and like kids and more butts in seats.
1796 Patriot says, Stephen, don't talk about the atomic bomb Oppenheimer movie and then use the word "it drops" in the same sentence.
Oh, shit. What's up, Patriot?
This movie is going to be the bomb. The reviews are going to be explosive.
I say don't doubt James Cameron, don't doubt Christopher Nolan. You're gonna get something good from that guy.
And don't doubt Harrison Ford.
It's amazing that he's doing what he's doing at his age. Nothing short of a miracle.
Yeah, well, let's see if he can perform when he gets to my age. Oh, now the dog shows up. Hey, Tebow, lay down in your bed. Lay down. Dan says Disney will take about a year to get straight. Now the old CEOs come back and start producing good films. I sure hope so, Dan. Sure hope so.
We need it now, Dan. They have the capability, Dan. If you look at Lion King was a $1 billion film. I mean, it wasn't the best film, but it made a ton of money. So they have the capability, but they missed the mark.
Are you talking about the original animated Lion King or the new remake?
No, the remake made $1 billion.
Are you freaking kidding me?
No, I'm not.
I didn't see that one. I mean, I've seen...
And Beauty and the Beast made $1 billion too.
Oh my gosh. Wow. See, they know what to do, but they're not executing on it. More of those, please. Let's see what else we got going on here. Red. They, by the way, they found the guy that stabbed Bob Lee, the Cash App. All these damn conspiracy people. They stabbed the founder of Cash App because they want to hurry up and get a CBDC out, Stephen. Like, this guy was an employee of Square that worked for Jack Dorsey. He was the lead engineer or product developer behind the Cash App. He's didn't own the Cash App, first of all, so they can't even get their basic facts right. And even if he was taken out, Square still owns the Cash App. This had nothing to do with CBDC. Again, you know, the amount of nonsense and conspiracy theory stuff people put out there, because for some reason, Stephen, there's this motivation for these people to feel like they have to be proven right that CBDC is about to drop next week to pay you off on your short squeeze, when there none of this could be further from the truth. I don't know what the incentive is to create all of these conspiracy theories and just pump them out over and over.
I think it's to confuse people so that they just keep coming around and asking questions.
I don't know. There will be a CBDC eventually, and I'm not going to be a fan of it, and I will be following it and keep you informed. But I don't think it's going to be, for sure, no time this year, and probably not any time next year. I don't know the exact date, but it's not going to be next week, and it's not going to be anything to do to pay you off for a short squeeze. Anyways, he I guess they probably, I haven't read the article, but I read that the guy that stabbed him, he knew him. They knew each other. He was another tech dude, and they were, I guess, meeting. It was like 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the morning, stabbed to death after an argument about the suspect's sister. They probably tracked him down through whose ever phone was pinging in the area, would be my guess. I haven't read the articles. Maybe he confessed. Did anybody read? I haven't really had time to read on it since yesterday. Now, unless he was caught on tape running away saying, "This is for the CBDCs," you know, it had nothing to do with CBDC. Just more nonsense from the fudsters out there, the conspiracy theory channels and influencers.
It's kind of different being in here, members only. I kind of like it.
It's beautiful. I'm sure they'll still, there'll be a lot of people watching just to get their content ideas, because they can't come up with any original thoughts unless it's some theory they can't prove, Stephen. You know, they can't be bothered to go actually create some DD that can be backed up. So they got to come here and pick apart what I say.
Yeah, it's
everybody's got their place. I guess mine is content provider for the haters.
No shares available, Tony. Don't you get it?
Oh, man, no shares available, Stephen. There's absolutely zero chance, Stephen, that the price moved due to the lawsuit today. There's zero chance that was arbitrage movement, because, Stephen, there's no shares available. They just can't move it unless maybe, Stephen, they took shares from NCMI and shorted them as AMC shares.
Maybe.
I mean, the stuff people come up with is just flat out ridiculous.
I hope Adam Aaron sold on that NCMI.
Normally he does. Normally he sells the NCMI.
He did admit it on his Twitter that they were practically worthless. Yeah, so why wouldn't he,
It's on the verge of bankruptcy. I haven't crawled through their financials, and I have seen some headlines. I haven't read any articles that said they might not go bankrupt. But and I just don't know that I really need to become an expert in NCMI. There's so many other good stocks I'd rather cover than a movie advertising company. We already, just to be clear, we are a founding partner of this company. We're not going to buy it. Every time we get shares, he sells them. There's no intention, zero, for AMC to go acquire this company. They're a founding member of this company. They're still a member of the company. That's why we got the shares. But if it goes bankrupt, I don't know. Maybe he'll go in and pick it up. I don't really know what would happen. But there's been a lot, there's been various lawsuits over the past couple decades about antitrust type stuff. Like when we bought Carmike and some of those other movie theater chains, we had to divest part of our ownership of this company because we own too much of it. So I don't know that AMC would ever be allowed to own all of it. I don't really know, but people should go do a lot more DD than just making up theories on it. Go become an expert.
Your DD is not complete until you bring up the OBV on this stock.
Go become an expert on NCMI, make a video and teach us what you learned. That would be my suggestion. What about OBV?
The DD is not complete until you pull up OBV on NCMI.
Oh, Lord.
I needed to make sure that people are holding still.
Fucking OBV. Don't get me going, Steven.
I know. OBV is a interesting topic.
By the way, if you haven't seen it, I've got a video with everything you need to know about why OBV people are pushing bullshit on you. Please go watch it. It was out about 2 weeks ago. Watch it with an open mind if you hate me.
Yep.
It is the truth, what I put out there. Everything else you're being told is mistruth.
Yeah, I hope to God he's sold on that.
1796. I was thinking something was different in the chat tonight. Tony's in a good mood. I didn't realize it was members only. Yeah. I had enough of them, Patriot. I come on here in the evenings to have fun and hang out with you guys, not to get in arguments with goofballs.
Yeah, it does come to a point of, I would call, diminishing returns. Like, you want to genuinely help
talk
someone.
About anything, entertaining, fun, productive, educational. It just becomes this morass of arguing with people who can't prove anything they say. And I can't interact with people that, you want to have a debate with me, send me over your bullet points and your DD, your facts, and maybe we could do that. But no one that disagrees with me has anything to back up what they're saying. So it just becomes kind of a moot point. I really just don't want them in the chat. You can't have a discussion with someone that has no facts. I just feel like I'm right, Stephen. That's what they say.
I think the short interest is an all-time high for AMC.
That's one of the excellent things we have going for us. High short interest, high cost to borrow. That is factual. Blazin says, don't wrestle with pigs. You both get filthy, and the pigs like it. Remind me of that, Blazin, next time I do a video and have it open to the public. Start putting do we have a pig emoji we can drop in the chat? So you guys can remind me that it's getting kind of sloppy out there and I can switch it to members only.
I like to call it the loud minority.
Hey, Stephen, where's all the yes vote letters to the judge?
You don't have to write a letter when you know you won.
Exactly. That's when I saw someone make a video like that, I was like, I don't feel the need to make a letter because I already voted yes. I already know that we won, and I'm 99% sure the judge is going to allow AMC to do the reverse split and the conversion. So why would I waste my time, my mental and emotional energy writing a letter?
I think people genuinely still think that the conversion is not going to happen.
Well, of course they do. Some of them do.
Yeah, it's strange, but
because they're in a strange echo chamber, Stephen. Patriot
What's up,
says,
Dan?
just say oink, oink. It's harder. It's much easier for me to pick out those pig emojis, Aaron, than it is for me to read, especially when the chat's going by real fast in a public live stream. If y'all put some pigs in there, then I'll know to shut it down to members only. Like I said, if you're just joining in, tonight is members only because I'm just tired of the goofballs out there. And it's not fun for anybody that is a member of my channel. And I do this for you guys, not to entertain trolls. And we all want to have fun and learn things and talk about stocks and how to make money, not bitch about the one that we're down on. Or fight about things that we already know is not going to go their way, like the yes vote. I mean, I'm not going to argue with someone that thinks that the no vote is going to happen. It's just a waste of our time.
Absolutely.
So we're going to do.
And they're already convinced. They're convinced. Yeah. So it's like, if that's how you feel, then that's
go hang out on the channels that agree with you. You're not going to convince anyone that follows my viewpoints, because they're here for one reason, because they don't agree with you. So just stay away. We're going to do members only when it comes to the evening chats, and on the daytime live streams. If I'm covering AMC topics, I'll probably do members only, just because I don't want those guys in here. And if I do, I'll still do some open to the public live streams, but it will be no AMC chat. I think
this is good for the members, Tony. I mean, you're giving them, like, look, this is a real learning environment right here.
I'm doing it for you guys. I'm doing it for me to make sure I'm enjoying my time here. And I'm doing it because, I heard all sorts of crazy stuff this week. Like I'm telling Massalorian what to say, and I'm not letting him talk. Like, guys, he's a grown man. He comes on the live streams with me to give his viewpoints, and no one tells him what to say. He's not in my Discord. It's not in my Discord. He doesn't get paid anything from my Discord. Just like more conspiracy bullshit. It's never ending with these goofballs out there, the shit that they make up. And he's always welcome to come on my live streams, but if he's not locking down his chat, then I'm not going to be able to do live streams with him, because I'm not going to deal with that nonsense.
I'd like to ask everybody in the chat, like, just your feedback. Like, how do you guys feel about members only chat? Like, do you guys prefer it, or do you like the open forum more? If you comment.
I know some people like the drama and they like arguing with people in the chat, and maybe every now and then it's fun, Stephen, but I got to be really in the right mood. I got to be in the right mood to ignore every comment that comes up. It's all I can do not to boot them in the first place, but I got to make sure I'm in the right mood to not boot them and ignore it. And I know they come in here to bait me, because they know they're not going to change our minds on anything. It's purposeful stirring up of drama. For some reason, people get excited about doing that. Yeah, Click Kitty says Mass can't talk half the time because of his audio issues. That's the only thing that happened this week. Guys, I talk to him on the phone, offline, all the time. I know exactly what he thinks about this play. He and I have very, very little difference in opinion. And maybe he doesn't want to make people angry. Maybe sometimes he's just quiet because he was wanting to protect his channel. Maybe it's his audio. But I certainly don't tell him what to say or what not to say. Not even, and I'm sure he will tell you that himself.
Dan Spencer called him the window licker.
Who called who the window licker?
Dan Spencer.
Called who the window licker, though?
He said, it's good to see window lickers once in a while.
Oh, chalk eaters?
Yeah.
The trolls?
Yeah. I feel like I will make a better trade in this environment because I'm more calm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ape Blazing, I agree. I mean, Massillarian's a good guy. I've had so many conversations with him and very level-headed. You know,
Blazin
he's got
says
it going on.
he doesn't need instructions from anyone, and he's not getting instructions from anybody either. And you can go ask him that in private. You know, I don't need to be around for him to answer. We've never had one conversation ever about coordinating what we're going to say. Every live stream I do, everybody is, you know, encouraged to speak their mind, because if all we ever do is agree on everything, it gets a little boring. I'd rather have people on that don't agree with me, if they can be civil, if they don't have a history of tirades, doxing, you know, 90% of their live stream, you know, not related to DD or evidence, just insults. Those people I don't want to have on. But someone like Mediocre, he doesn't agree with me on everything. AB Investments doesn't agree with me on everything. Even Scavenger doesn't agree with me on stuff. I'm happy to have people like that on, because they can communicate like an adult. Blazin, yes, it is an insult to everybody's intelligence for people even to suggest something like that. And I do hate excluding people from the chat, but if that is the nonsense they believe, then I just want no part of it. I'm a grown-ass man. I don't got time for that kind of kindergarten drama. Everything to these people, literally everything to them is a conspiracy. That's why they're going to lose their money in Wall Street, because they're not open to hearing anybody that might present them a different way to consider looking at things on any ticker or on market mechanics or anything. They just don't want to hear it.
What's up, Fly Free? How are you doing? Yeah, I agree with you. Ape Blazing wants a poll. How many of us are trying to become a full-time trader at some point versus part-time?
Yeah, let me put one up. I don't know. I don't even know how many people are in the chat tonight, but we can do a quick poll. What is your trading objective? There we go. Do you want to become a full-time day trader? Do you want to become a part-time trader? Or are you just investing for retirement? Fly Free says, I do enjoy voting people out of the chat. From time to time, Fly Free, we will still have public executions. I mean, live streams.
Oh.
And I know y'all enjoy that. Imagine, Stephen, if we went live during the day, how much actual trading I could get done, we could get done when the chat is relatively serene and in a reasonable pace like this, without having all the... Tony, what do you think about ticker XY 1 cent? XYZ 1 cent. Imagine what we could do finding real plays that are moving that day.
Yeah, I think it's a good idea. It sounds like a lot of the members agree too.
For those of, I can't wait next week to launch the new thing that we're going to do on these daytime live streams.
See, that's the entertainment right there.
The interactive entertainment that we're going to unleash on you next week. Dan says we can rescue those lost souls. What do you think, guys? Can we rescue some of them? In 2 years of doing this, I've had one person come back and say, you know, Tony, well, maybe two. Grandpa Barney said, I used to really hate you, Tony, but...
Yeah, he did.
But I've come to realize, you know, you actually speak the truth. And I had one other person who I don't remember who it was. It's not any regular member of this channel. He came in the comments of a video. And he said, Tony, I just wanted to let you know I used to really disagree with everything you said, but I spoke really mean to you, and I want to come back and apologize. That made me feel good. There are a couple people that are reasonable, but most of them I'll never hear from, because as soon as I see anything obscene or, you know, not, if they can't talk to me without insulting, that's just an automatic block, so they'll never be back.
Grandpa Barney said that the world needs linemen. He wanted me to tell you that.
Thank you for your service, Grandpa. Hey, where is Grandpa Barney, Stephen? How are you?
I think he's in the chat right now.
Hey, Grandpa, I was showing my wife some photos of Gig Harbor, and she was curious. And I don't know, my friend that lives up there, I don't know if he has a boat, and I don't know if you have a boat, but are there boat tours available in Gig Harbor? I need to message my friend and ask him if he has a boat. $17.96.
You're doing that thing next week?
Yeah, I think we'll launch it next week, maybe on Monday.
Oh man.
Let's talk about it this weekend and make sure we have all the rules down and the prizes and the tracking of everything. I'll be in touch with you guys on the Discord, and those of you that are in the Discord, I'll share the idea a little more with you. Some of you know what's coming, but we'll unveil it in the Discord this weekend, and then we'll bring it live next week. Boat tours out of Seattle. Okay, yeah, I would like to do a side trip to what's closest, Grandpa? Portland, Tacoma, Seattle. I don't know what's closest. I maybe would like to see one major city when I'm up that way. I think Tacoma is the closest. Patriot says, I wish we could come back together and everyone realize we all want the same thing. I wish the same thing too, Patriot, but a lot of these people have become convinced that Adam Aaron's trying to steal 90% of their shares, and that the hedge funds are somehow going to be let off the hook, even though their monetary obligations not changing. And now they have fewer shares after a reverse split to go buy from. But then, you know, like I said, like I will continue to tell you, that when dilution happens, that will change the game. It will give them some new shares. And I'll tell you, just from observation, I've been watching Bed Bath & Beyond after they announced their dilution and their updated share count. The short interest dropped from 58% to like 15%, but not unexpectedly, it's creeping up. If the shorts are going to short you, they're still going to short you after a reverse split and dilution. So even if you see that if AMC does dilution and the short interest drops from 25 to 12%, if we are still losing money, they're not going to close, guys. I'm going to tell you my prediction right now. If we are still losing money, they are not going to close. They're going to add more shorts.
That's why it's critical that we raise substantial, capital through the equity raise.
Yeah, I'm not worried about shorts closing because of reverse split or dilution. The unfortunate thing is it gives them more shares out in the market. Like if he does a private offering, 10 million shares to JP Morgan or whoever, that entity that buys them can turn around and loan them out. And there's a fresh batch of shorts, right? And yeah, that's why dilution can drive the price down. Plus the fact that it's dilution. But I don't think you're going to see the short interest drop from shorts closing. You'll see it drop from the fact that there's more shares. So on terms of percentage, this is going to be the whole new thing, Stephen. I told you they would close. Look, it dropped from 25% to 12%. They closed.
Yeah, it's not closing.
It's going to be a whole new bunch of lies and bullshit. Even though they can see with their own eyes that the number of shorts in terms of shares didn't change, they're going to misconstrue it, lie to everybody. As long as we're losing money, they're not going to close. They'll just double down.
I mean, there's people out there that still think Bed Bath & Beyond has 30 million shares outstanding. So it's not a surprise. I mean, you have to stay really up to date with these tickers, guys, especially if they're high risk. Like if it's McDonald's or something, you can buy it, forget about it, and you're fine. But when you're dealing with a company that's struggling, you have to be on it with financial statements and all this other stuff Tony talks about. That's what comes with high risk stocks. It requires a different level of attention to detail. And if you're not willing to give that attention to detail, you shouldn't be investing in individual stocks. I think that's fair to say.
I'm going to do some coverage on new tickers this year. Some will be great companies like Costco or Floor & Decor or McDonald's, Apple, companies with a solid history of increasing revenues and profits. And then we'll do some like a Lucid or a Rivian where they're clearly losing money, just like AMC. And it's going to be the same story for all these companies that are losing money. They're all going to have high short interest, and they're all probably going to be pushed down in price, not because of manipulation or anything, because the shorts are not scared to double down on a company that's losing money. They can read the financials. And I can, in my mind, when I look at the financials, I can see 12-month roadmap of exactly what's going to happen. That's why I don't do Wyckoff and TA charts. It's really irrelevant trying to do TA on a company that's losing money. Your best hope is that there was some good news today that made the stock move up. And then maybe that was the day you made a Wyckoff video saying that it's looking bullish. And then they come in. It was not the news that made it run up. It was that prediction I made yesterday. All right there, cowboy. Sure. Remember Ants Trade, Stephen? I don't need to know what the company's doing. I don't need to know about the economy. I saw my chart. That's all that matters. Blazing. They won't even understand the sentence. It is unfortunate, but I think you're correct. I will try and teach them, but they won't want to hear. It's much easier just to go to someone who tells you it's all corruption, Blazing.
Okay. Tony, I'm going to go watch Renfield. Thank you for having me on. You guys all have a good night.
Buy some straight to the bottom line popcorn, Stephen, and a beer.
That's right.
In fact, I had 2 beers for Renfield. It made it much better.
Oh, awesome. We'll catch up soon.
Okay, take care.
See ya.
Have I looked into West? That does not ring a bell. Riverview Acquisition Corp. What are they about? an integrated coffee, tea, flavors, extracts, and ingredients solutions provider. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's look at the chart. That's not horrible. It's at least going the direction that we like, right? Thank you. I'm just going to say thank you every time you guys give me one that doesn't go from the top left corner to the bottom right. Let's see what they got. Flat revenues, negative income, total current assets 296, total current liabilities 214. They're not upside down there. Long-term debt 162 million. Cash from operating activities was $2.91 million, if I'm reading that right. Negative $54 million from capital expenditures, financing activities, negative 165. Issuance of stock and retirement of debt. Why is it 165 negative? Oh, that's foreign exchange effects. Sorry. Cash from financing activities, negative 17. All right, that's not too bad. Yeah, I mean, it's not a... There's... I'd like to see a positive operating income. But the rest is not too bad. Their earnings... Unfortunately, when I look at EPS, it's going the wrong direction. We went from negative 12 4 quarters ago, and it just keeps getting worse. So yeah, they got a revenue problem they need to overcome, but that chart looks pretty good for the condition that they're in. Especially considering that it's flat revenue. Let me go back a few more quarters. So going back a couple years, they're up about 20% on total revenue. So if they can grow a little bit more, you could have a good story here. Dan says, are there many companies making money at the minute unless you're selling food, energy, or defense? Yeah, I mean, there are companies still making money, Dan. We'll be talking about those in coming weeks. I'm going to try and alternate my videos like I did a Lucid. I'm going to do next a profitable company so that I don't want it to seem like every company I'm covering, I have something bad to say about it. So I'll do a money-losing company that everybody's interested in, and then I'll do a profitable company, and so that's the next video that you'll see from me, so you can hear me talk good about one and why it's good, and then we'll talk about, for that particular company, what is the right buy-in price from a value investing perspective. Some of them are still overvalued, and so every time I'm making a video or I'm doing my prep, I'm setting my price target. Some of them will be at my price target. Some of them will be overpriced. But those are the ones that I'm going to say I will buy this for sure and not worry about it if it could just come down a little bit more. And that's why I'm trying to stack cash to be ready to jump on those blue chip stocks. So we will be going over some of those, the good companies, the ones that are making money. And unfortunately, you know, some of the ones that are making money are also still doing layoffs, but I'd rather them be proactive and lay people off, reading the lay of the land and the economy, I don't view layoffs necessarily as negative. If it's a money losing company and they're laying off, that's probably a bad sign. But If it's profitable and they're laying off, then they're trying to get ahead of the curve. I mean, they're both trying to get ahead of the curve, but layoffs aren't always bad. Sometimes you see stocks move up on layoff news because they're trimming the fat. And, you know, the company I worked for way back in the day for 15 years, we went through that at least 2 or 3 times. Many times where I had to submit my head count that I wanted to be let go. I never knew if they were going to pull the trigger, but we always had our list. They would always make us rank our staff and give them the bottom 10%. And then one day you'd find out nothing happened. And then some years you'd find out, hey, we need you to let 4 people go today. It's never fun when you're working in a company and you know that things are getting really dicey operationally or cash wise, or the salespeople are seeing the sales decline, or the finance economics guys are looking ahead and saying, we're going to have a slowdown. So we need to get ahead of this. Start trimming the fat now. But I'd rather, you know, my company was pretty good about being proactive. Sometimes we laid people off just to get ahead of the curve. I guess that's where I was going with that story. Never fun. David says, Mullen holding tight at 10 cents. Do I think it could run? I'm on the fence, David. I bought some Mullen at 10 cents. Okay. But I'll tell you, David, I think that they will be having more dilution and a reverse split coming up. And when you combine that with a virtually no revenue company, it's not a great story. And that I think that whenever they do that reverse split, and I think it will be before the end of May, that it will be beaten down after that. So I would like to buy some more. The next time I'd like to look at it is probably at the 5-cent equivalent of after the reverse split. Now, if they have some good news, David, if they have some good news and it pops up, whatever I bought at 10 cents, and I have a little bit more at 25, if it pops on good news, I will 100% be selling it immediately if I could double my money. There's not going to be, I don't think, any good news on Mullen good enough to run it up to $1 or $2. Like if it goes up from 10 to 20 or 30, I will be selling. I'll sell into that and rebuy when it comes back down. That's just my opinion. Might not be a popular one, but their revenues are going to be weak and their expenses are high. And I know Bollinger's coming out with new vehicle designs and the Dragonfly and all that, but designs are not dollars in the door. It's just when I hear about a design, I just think more R&D expense. And I think revenues in 3 years. So I don't get excited about stuff like that. But if other people do and they run the price up, I will sell into that every time. And then it'll die down, and then I'll buy back and just rinse and repeat. All these companies like Mullen, Highcroft, it's all about getting a good entry as good as you can, as cheap as you can, and hoping for a little news pop or people get it over their skis. They get a little too excited. Sell into that, be patient, and rebuy. Mr. A, what's up, amigo? Thank you. Blazin says, look at McDonald's. Yeah, they did announce the layoff. And let's look at their ticker one more time. It's only gone up since announcing the layoffs. Yeah, a lot of people on Wall Street, for a healthy company, consider that actually a bullish sign. McDonald's is like a lifetime stock. I remember back when I was in my corporate world, the very first job I got as a manager, I created a investment club for my employees. I enjoyed teaching people even 30 years ago. These are all hourly workers making $6, $7 an hour. And we would have meetings after work and sit around, and I'd teach them about stocks, teach them how to read financial statements. We created a nonprofit where we all chipped in money. We all put in, I don't remember what it was, $100, $200. And we talked about it together. I taught them how to read the financial statements, and we would vote on which companies to buy. And when I finally left that department and moved on to a different position, we eventually ended that little partnership, and everybody got out with a profit. But back in the day, where I was going with that story, McDonald's was one to look at, always has been a solid play. That was back in the 90s. You could have bought it for $3 back then. It's at $2.88 now. Imagine if we would have never dissolved that partnership. David says, Mullen seems like old stock. I don't know what you mean by old stock, but they're not producing their own vehicles. They're buying these vans, David, from China for about $8,000, and then they're upfitting them with their own battery tech and a couple of cosmetic tweaks. And I don't know what they're selling them for. Maybe there's a decent profit in them, but I don't think they're going... I could be wrong, but I don't think they're going to sell enough vans to make a meaningful dent in their cash bleed. I'm open to being wrong. And as now a new owner for the first time ever in Mullen, I would love to be wrong. I'd love to have an upside surprise on some quarterly announcement. That was the whole point of waiting to get in at 10 cents, to minimize my risk. I realize I could lose 100% of what I put in, even at 10 cents. But look at that. After all said and done, looking at, they must have had reverse splits, right? 12.25. Did they already have one reverse split? Anywho, yeah, I've resisted buying this stock for a long, long time. Sometimes things get really, really cheap, and even though you know they're not making money, I mean, what the heck? 10 cents. There is still bankruptcy risk, but I think we're a few years out from that, and they have the ability to raise cash. So the only thing I really got to worry about is dilution. Juicy, what's up, amigo? Thank you. That is the type of chart we're looking for. Yes, Blazem. If I could convince everybody that watches me, as much as they hate me, to look for companies like that, Blazem, you'd have people celebrating life. You'd have people not all emotional. You'd have people not angry and upset. Even if there's a recession, they would be okay. But they want to pick all the money losing plays, and I don't know how to get through to that mindset. I'll just keep on putting out the message and the content. And maybe a couple of them will end up over here eventually. I mean, like literally, at the end of 2021, when the market tanked, this stock is still up 20%, while everything else is down 90%. All the negative revenue stocks are down 90%. This one's up 20%. I get it. It's boring. It's boring contemplating only making 20%. But do you guys realize that the smartest people on Wall Street would kill every year to make 20%? There's nothing wrong with it. I'm saying, like, on their broad portfolio, if they could make 20% every year, they would be thrilled. That's the mindset we need to get people to, is have the bulkier portfolio and stuff like this, and then have a little side gamble pot like I do, where you can still have some fun, some adrenaline rush, some stocks that run up 50, 100, 300%, and you're going to have a lot that lose. But it makes it interesting on the day-to-day, because these are fire and forget plays. Something like this McDonald's here. You just put it in and you check back in 10 years. And if you don't want to pick individuals because it's too tough and you don't like reading financial statements, just invest in an index tracking mutual fund. It'll be just as boring, but you won't have to do any work. You won't have to look at not one financial statement. I'm weird like that. Like I like really reading 60 pages and understanding all the nitty gritty, because that is really how you kind of separate the potential winners from the dogs. It is mostly boring though on a blue chip company. It's so good. There's not that many gotchas in there. Blazin says most of his portfolio is in 4 ETFs. That is why you're here, my friend. Cheers. That's a good man. And then your gambling money, I'm assuming, is in crypto, based on what I know about you. Crypto and AMC. Oh, getting hot in here. What other questions y'all got before we wrap this up? Just before we wrap it up, if you're just tuning in, this was a members only chat because of the amount of goofballs out there that just want to come here and try and talk to a fact-based channel about their emotional theories that they can't back up with any evidence. We're probably gonna do members only chats on the evenings so that I can actually enjoy my time and you guys can enjoy it, and so we can have productive conversations about due diligence, about stocks, about the market, about the news, the financial news. And any AMC specific live chats are going to be members only for the same reason. So if you're wondering why it's so happy and calm in the chat tonight, that is why. Let's see if we can pull up crypto here real quick. 30,400 on Bitcoin, and 8 cents on Doge. Ethereum at 2,090. Nice. I've got some other books that I'm reading. I'm reading 3 books right now. One on Warren Buffett, one on options volatility, and of course the exam prep book that I have for the SIE exam. Securities Industry Essentials. So between doing videos, working on my live stream tools, and reading, I've always got a full day. I'll pull whatever content I can out of these books if I find something valuable to share with you guys. And then we got some more options videos coming up in the 2-week rotation also. Some precious metals videos coming up. And I don't know which company I'm going to do next that is knocking it out of the park, but the next video will be a blue chip where you can see what a good set of books looks like. And I won't bore you with 20 minutes of going through financials. I'll just point out the highlights of why this particular company is a fire and forget, because we need more people talking about good stocks so you can understand the vast gap between them and why certain stocks are being shorted. Everything makes much more sense when you can, he just showed me what a good company looks like. Now I can understand why mine is being obliterated. Are they, is it algo trading and manipulation? And yes, it is all of that, but there's a reason for all of that. That is, they're running low on cash. All of the plays that are being obliterated, without fail, they're either no revenue, negative revenue, and generally running out of cash. There's common elements in all of them. So as always, if you're getting in those plays, identify a good entry. Find someone who can help you identify a good entry. I'm always here. You might not like my answer, but I will tell you what I think a good entry is. And if you're buying those on FOMO run-ups, the more it runs up, I want you to be thinking about scaling back your risk. So if you got in at the ground level, I will go in with a lot more risk. But if it's already moved up 50%, I'm going to scale back how much I put in. Am I limiting? Am I going to be, oh, but Tony, you could have made 20,000 on that one. Yeah, but I could have lost 20,000 too. Because with my luck, I'd buy in and it would immediately turn down. It's happened to all of us, right? So I learned a long time ago, once they're moving, if I'm late to the play, I'll scale back my risk, even if it's $1,000, $500, $100. However I perceive the risk, the less I will put in it. I'm not trying to get rich on one play because I know there'll be another one tomorrow and the day after and next week. It's all just about timing. That is it on those FOMO run-ups. So if you got to get up early. I know Grandpa's putting in the work getting up early. Get up early, check them in pre-market, see what was moving in after hours the night before. And if you can get in early, you can scale up that risk. But if you're getting in late, for the love of God, for your own sanity, emotions, and family health, don't FOMO your entire portfolio in that shit. Am I going to be a financial advisor, Patriot? I don't think there's any point at which I could be a financial advisor. I don't want to be employed by anybody. I don't want someone coming to my home office. Tony, here's my budget. Here's all of our assets. We need you to give us some mutual funds to invest in. For every financial advisor, it feels like to me the only thing they can recommend is mutual funds. And there's so much more fun things that I'd like to talk about. Individual stocks. But as a financial planner or financial advisor, it's risky to recommend those to people, if you know what I mean. So I'm going to take the SIE just to get, I think I could read this and take the test in about 7 days or less. It's very basic. If you have any years of experience trading, what's in this book is not difficult. That's just to get me back in the habit of test taking, because I haven't taken a test since I took the test for getting into MBA school, which I took the test and then I never went and got the MBA. Scored well enough to go, but I was going to have my company pay for it because they would sponsor us and cover your entire 50 or 100,000 tuition, but I decided to leave the company before applying for that. But I'm going to take the test after this for CFA, Chartered Financial Analyst, and that'll be a bit of work, 4 to 6 months of studying. And still, I won't be able to be your financial advisor, I don't think. I don't know if there would ever be an opportunity where I could offer private counseling, where you divulge all your finances to me. Like, I can't recommend stuff to you guys now because I don't know anything about your situation. It's irresponsible for me to advise anybody on anything. So I just try and tell you my read on the financials and what I'm going to do, and then encourage you to do your own work or go hire somebody. I'm a facilitator, but I'm certainly nobody's advisor. But I think, the CFA designation, if I get that, even if I don't get it, because if there's some snafu with the 4,000 work hour requirement, which they tell me there won't be, but if I get that, the 6 months of putting in the work, refreshing myself on everything I've forgotten since college and learning things that I didn't know, will not only benefit me. I love learning new things. Not only will it benefit me in my trading, but you guys will get the benefit of that too at no charge. No charge. I will take the pain just for you. CFA, a CFP, a certified financial planner, is someone that works more with families, helping them, look at their budgets and make a investment and retirement plan. And a CFA is someone more that is doing corporate finance type investment analysis. So no, I don't plan on doing that as a career. I don't plan on ever working for anybody again. It's just the challenge of refreshing all the brain cells, learning some new things, and then being better for you guys. If I was 18 years old in today's world, Tony, what would I do differently? Blazin'. If I was 18 years old, what would I do differently? I would not go get 7 credit cards, Blazin'. You know how when you're walking around the college campus and my college campus was huge, University of Texas. It's like 20 blocks by 20 blocks. That might be an exaggeration, but it's huge. It's bigger than some cities. Every block you walk, there's some folks at a table handing out free credit card applications. Here, you're pre-approved. You're a student here. Here you go. I would not get credit cards when I was young. That was probably the main mistake I made, Blazin'. I had a bad habit in my 18s and early 20s of being very brand conscious and spending beyond my means on clothes. This whole keeping up with the crowd thing. Always got to have the latest shoes, the best shirts with the logos on it. I finally learned at some point in my 20s or 30s that was a stupid way to live life, and just switch to something that looks nice, but you're not paying triple. I never got in any bad habits of buying cars I couldn't afford, thank God. But that'd be something I would avoid in my 18s or 20s. I always bought used cars, and as cheap as I could get for something reliable. I don't think I didn't buy my first Mercedes probably until I was making, this was 20, 30 years ago, making maybe $85,000. And even then it was a 5-year-old used Mercedes. And as my income grew and my stock portfolio grew, I moved up. I went to a S-Class Mercedes, and then I got a BMW 7 Series. And then after having those, I realized these cars are fucking expensive to maintain. Yeah, let's not do that. Let's just go back to buying trucks. Something I can work on myself. They were fun toys, but shit, man. You spend $500 on a pair of tires, $1,000 for 4 tires. Come on. Forget about if something bad happens, like the airbags on your suspension go bad. The other thing I would say that I did right, Blazin, was I started buying rental properties when I was young. So I'd say look into real estate. If not everybody's cut out to be a landlord, I get that. If you're not the type of person to manage tenants, don't do it. It's not for everybody. But I would tell myself, don't ever sell your real estate. That's one thing I regret, Blazin. And my other final bit of advice to all of you is don't be lazy. Work your ass off. Get 2 jobs if you have to while you're young and you can. Stack that money into a investment account and invest it wisely. Minimize money that you're wasting on superfluous stuff out there, drinking and clothes and whatever. And invest it while you can, because now, you got decades for that money to earn, to earn and grow and multiply. You wait till you're 40 or 50, you've lost 20 years of compounding interest. So work as much as you can to the extent that you're able. And if you have a job, same thing I've been coaching my wife on is don't fall in this trap of getting comfortable at your job. I literally changed jobs. Even though I worked for the same company for 15 years, I was looking for upward mobility in that company every 18 to 24 months. So whether you're moving up in a company that offers that kind of mobility, I was lucky to be in a hugely growing company. But if you're not in that situation, look for opportunities outside of where you're at, whether it means moving to a different company that maybe is offering you a 10% pay raise, 20% pay raise. I think my wife has probably, since she met me, tripled her income in the last 7 years just from listening to me, to not be complacent. Oh, I don't want to leave. I just love these people. I'm like, it took me a couple years, but now she's just like ecstatic to change jobs. Can't believe how much I'm making. And if you're not qualified to move, look for a similar job at a different company that's desperate for people. There's a lot of that going on. And if that doesn't exist, challenge yourself to learn something new to, figure out what do you want to do next, and spend a year or 2 learning that. Get some new skills, take some classes online, at a community college, at a trade school, whatever it takes. Let's not fall in the trap of settling and getting comfortable, and we're not actively trying to manage growing our income. Because if you imagine, guys, if you're comfortable now and you can have the discipline to not change your spending habits, but you figure out a way to increase your income by 25% or 50%, that's a huge amount of money you can invest. I started out making $24,000 at my company. I left making over $100,000 by job hopping within the company. On top of that, I got all of those bonuses of stock options and executive bonuses, cash, not cat. I mean, paycheck, but you had your base salary, then you'd get like a 20% bonus if the company met goals. So don't be lazy. Juicy says, what website do you go to do DD on a penny stock that's about to rip? There's no website I go to, Juicy. I look at the pump and dumpers on YouTube and Twitter and see what they're all pumping. That's about the extent that I do. I think that website Tip Ranks, Tip RANKS. I mean, I think they're a pump and dump website, but I don't generally go to any website. If they're talking about it, there's certain pumpers on YouTube. Just look for anybody look up all these tickers, Zila, BBIG, Prague. Go search for that. Figure out who's pumping every single one of those. Follow them and turn on notifications. And then do not listen to their price targets. But get in early, take a chance, get the fuck out. Blazin says, I spent $1,800 Canadian on my tires. What do you drive? I think mine are about 125 each, maybe 150. Thankfully, I haven't needed new tires for a while. I barely drive anywhere. That is the benefit of working from home. I'm not spending money on gas, and I'm not spending money on tires or brakes or anything, oil changes. But at some point here, I'm going to need to replace that vehicle. This is the longest I've ever kept a vehicle, and it's still running great. But and I love I forget how many years I've not had a car payment. And the payment on that car was in the neighborhood of $800 to $1,000 a month. But it's been paid off for a long time. It's got around 330,000 miles on it. And I just don't see the need in this economy to rush out and buy a new vehicle. If it dies on the driveway, yeah, I'll go buy something new. But I don't need the fastest, latest car. I've got a car that I maintain myself. It's in perfect running condition. It looks fine. It still looks new. Because I take care of it, and it's mostly just me ever that's in it. So why go waste $90,000 on a new car, on a new truck? I will when I have to, but I'll put it off as long as I can. Oh man, that sucks, Blazin. You got stuck with your ex's debt. Shit. Just assume with every one of these retail plays that someone out there is front running it. Yes. Every one of those penny stock plays, someone is front running it. So you cannot believe their price targets. If it's at a penny and they tell you it's going to $1, they're going to be selling at 10 cents. So when I say get out early, I can't tell you if it's going to go from to 10 cents or 50, but scale out your risk as it's moving up. Damn, Blazing, that sucks. Trying to think if there's anything else, Blazing. I want to start providing some personal finance advice. Someone asked me a week ago in a live stream, can you share anything that you've ever learned in all of your 100 years, Tony? Tell us, how to budget and how to get ahead in life. I just dropped a bunch on you, but I think there's, some of those could be broken down into 2-minute videos, and we just start a little section on personal finance. I don't know if people would think that is being, I'm a little worried people would think I'm being preachy, even though I'm trying to be helpful. Maybe, the vast majority of my current audience is my age, because I can see the demographics. But maybe, maybe a couple of 18, 21-year-olds will watch it, and maybe out of the 5 that watch it, 1 will have a light bulb moment. I certainly have my light bulb moment. I'll never forget the time my coworker told me, when I told him I was shopping for a luxury apartment, Blazing. He's like, why? Why the fuck? I thought that was the height of success, to have the most expensive apartment in the city. I wasn't making enough to buy a house early in my career. He's like, why? Why are you shopping for an apartment? He's like, why don't you look at a 4-plex? You can take the income from 3 units and help you qualify for like 4 times what you think you could qualify for. I was like, what? What? Light bulb moment. Boy, I dug in and spent months learning everything I could about buying rental properties, managing rental properties. Went and tried to buy a few, got turned down because I had no credit. I was just a young pup. Then I had to learn how to build credit, how to fix my credit. Finally, a year later, bought my first. I took that no as a challenge. All right, so you said no, but I'm going to figure out how to come back in a year and get a yes. And I did. And then I said, all right, now how can I buy it? This was so fun. How can I buy a second property? Went to buy a second property. No, we can't approve you for 2. Why not? They told me the reasons. All right, let me go fix that. So on and so on. I never look at no's as setbacks. I look at them as opportunities to improve something. That's just how I'm wired. I'm not wired to take defeat as a give up on life. I always take it as a learning opportunity. And you know what? If I lose on AMC, it'll be a learning opportunity to figure out what I did wrong and not repeat it. And that's just how I look at life. And I use that knowledge to improve the next play. And it never, in the end, it always comes out okay if you have that mindset. $17.96 says personal finance advice, don't get hemmed up with marriage or children until later. Yeah, I didn't know if I wanted to cross that bridge, 1796. We might relegate that talk to the Tony Denaro dating channel. But yes, I mean, like I tell my sons, do not fucking get married at a young age. And have a prenup. Unless you've been knowing her for 5-7 years, you better have a prenup. Ain't nothing wrong with a prenup. When I met my wife, when we first started dating, she's like, I would never date somebody that couldn't propose to me in 1 year. I was like, well, you're going to be in for a rough ride, lady. I forget how many, 5, 6 years later, she was still hanging in. And I was like, all right, you put in the work. You proved your worth. You're a good human being. And on top of that, you put up with my 10 grit ass. My salty, never wrong self. If you can deal with me for 5, 7 years, we might have a shot to make it 20 or 30 until I die. Blazin says it wasn't even marriage. God damn, common law by default. Texas has that law too, Blazin. I feel your pain. Not that I ever felt the wrath of that common law, but I know people who have. Speaking of wifey, I think she just walked in the door. She's greeting the dog. All right, well, we should probably wrap it up. What time is it? 11 o'clock. We did 3 hours. That's pretty good. God, man, it's so fucking relaxing hanging out with you guys without all that nonsense. And I feel like we actually got to talk about some real shit tonight. Hopefully you feel the same way. What's up, baby? How you doing? Good. I'm just wrapping up a live stream. I think so, yeah. Ladies and gents, we're going to wrap it up. I'll be around over the weekend in the Discord and working on some videos for you. Maybe some live streams. I don't know which night, Saturday, Sunday, or both. If we can do this and have a decent conversation, shit, I might just start doing this every night. It's not a chore when I can hang out with people that have actual... What's the words I want to use? When I can hang out with my friends. I'll just leave it like that. Love you guys. Have a good night. Thank you for hanging out. And we will see you on the next one. Folks in the Discord, look for some thoughts from me about the upcoming new feature we're going to have in the live streams next week. And I would like your feedback on that, your ideas. Let's see what this poll, I forgot to look. 32% of you want to become a full-time trader. 32%. Wow, so even. 32% of you want to become a part-time trader. And 35% are investing for retirement. Interesting to know. I love learning stuff like that about you guys. Check the community tab from time to time too, because I put some polls up there. YouTube community tab. And I'm going to continue to do that because that's a good way for me to get your thoughts on things. The last one I did was just about Nicolas Cage, but I'm going to start doing some more about questions, investing related questions to try and see how I can help you guys the best. Davinda Washer in the house. What's up, amigo? He's here just in time for the end. That's not even your picture, Davinda. Who did you steal that picture from? Davinda, I'm going to give you a challenge since you're just coming in here late. Pour yourself a couple drinks, rewind 3 hours, and enjoy. It's been a beautiful, pleasant evening without all the trolls in here. I wish you could have been in here to cut up some jokes with us and share some of your questions and knowledge. But we will have some more this weekend, so Have a good Friday night, guys. Have a safe weekend, and I will see you on the next one.